something, and I went to go speak to my counselor. And I saw a pamphlet that said, earn while you learn. The only thing that I knew at that time, earning while you learned, were the armed forces, because they would give you the GI Bill or whatever.
Right.
So as I was waiting, I'm like, whatever, I'm going to go ahead and read this. And it was about the electrical apprenticeship program here in Ventura County. And I go, wait a minute. My pops, my stepdad, that's my pops, you know, that guy came around and took us in, and I love him. Like my papa, you know, and he's an electrician by trade and went through the apprenticeship program, and his uncle was an electrician by trade, went through the apprenticeship program. So I already knew kind of about it. So then when I went and talked to my counselor, I go, hey, can you tell me about this program? And she goes, well, no, that program doesn't exist anymore. And she snatched the pamphlet out of my hand and threw it in the trash. And I go, does the program not exist anymore? Because I know my dad's an electrician. And she goes, oh, well, we don't have it here anymore. They have their own, you know, thing. And you're not on that path. Let's talk about your classes. And I was like, all right. So when I was a senior, I allowed my counselor to dictate my life. Now I'm 18 years old. I know everything, right? 18 years old. I know everything. And I reached over and I picked up that pamphlet out of the garbage can, and I looked at her and I said, well, you know what? I'm actually going to look into this. I appreciate you. She goes, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, I'm going to look into this before I start changing my classes. And I already knew where to go and how to sign up and stuff. And one of the good things that comes out of being, you know, a stepson to somebody that's been a part of something is that we have different last names and we don't look like each other. So I was able to kind of fly under the radar, ended up passing, and what they do is they take your application, and then if, you know, you do all that stuff right, they invite you back for an aptitude test. Yeah. And it's a math test and a written test, reading, writing, and comprehension. If you pass that, you come back for an interview. So I had passed all that, and then I came back for the interview, and at that time, my pops had moved up into the ranks to become our business manager of our local IBW 952, the electrician's local in Ventura.
Oh, okay.
So he was the tippy-top dude, and I didn't want to be associated with him or, you know, or anything. And I remember he had called me and was like, dude, how come you didn't tell me that you were going to do this? I could have given you some pointers. I could have saved you some time. And I'm like, man, I wanted to do this on my own.